Is Bitcoin a good investment?
No, it's a speculation.
Yes.
JL, I love you, man, but you're going to get lit up on the internet. You need to not say this.
Who cares?
I'm up $90,000 in just 4 trades this year.
Oh, God, spare me.
I'm broke, about to buy $10 of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will not make you rich, and Bitcoin will not make you a crypto millionaire.
Yes, especially if you don't have any money. You're not going to put money in crypto and then just moon yourself to freedom. You're just not.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when men gatekeep financial concepts by overcomplicating them.
I don't gatekeep anything. I'm not gatekeeping. This channel is open. I make complex things simple as well. I'm not gatekeeping anything, lady.
I'm Lloyd James Ross, 7-figure investor and entrepreneur, and I've helped thousands of business owners and professionals turn financial stress into success. If you're stuck in old money habits, overwhelmed by investing, or unsure where to start, this is for you. I'll give you the mindset and strategies to take control, grow your wealth, and achieve financial freedom. It's time to make your money work for you.
All right, here we go. It's time to have some fun. We're going to do reactions. And the best part of reactions is I've not seen these. I don't know what's coming. And you're going to get an actual reaction from me of what I think straight away. So let's dive in and see the first reaction. Need a drum roll.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when men gatekeep financial concepts by overcomplicating them. My dad always told me if you understood
Bit of a
it, you would need
stereotype.
5 paragraphs to explain it. First is a stock buyback. That's when a company literally buys back its own shares to make them rarer and pricier. It's like a girl who takes down thirst traps on Instagram to make the remaining ones hit harder. So she has less posts on Instagram overall, but the remaining ones seem better and have higher engagement. Next, what's a trade deficit? A trade deficit is when a country buys more from other countries than it sells to them.
That's true with the stock buyback part that she said first is interesting because if you're going to invest in stocks, individual companies, you have to understand buybacks. Buybacks are a way for companies to give shareholders a return of the money that aren't dividends, and they're very popular in America because American companies that pay dividends, in America you can't get franking credits like you can here in Australia, which means you have to pay the full tax, the income tax on the dividends. So to prevent shareholders having to pay tax, the companies, instead of spending the money on or sending the money out in dividends, they use their free cash flow on buying back their shares and retiring the common shares outstanding, which does increase the value of the shares. And it's called buyback yield instead of dividend yield. And it's one of the most important concepts you have to know because you want to be buying companies that are aggressively buying back their shares when they're very undervalued. And it's one of the biggest principles that Warren Buffett follows in his investing. The second part, the trade deficit, not as important because to follow macro trends and understand macroeconomics is probably not going to make you rich. It's just going to annoy the crap out of you for the rest of your life.
Next is a foreign exchange reserve, and that's just the cash and currency a country saves for a rainy day.
You also really don't need to know about foreign exchange reserves because it has no bearing on the microeconomics of your household and your investments. It's nice that she's explaining these concepts with metaphors like this, so you do understand them, but do you really need to understand them? No. And I don't gatekeep anything. I'm not gatekeeping. This channel is open. This is public channel. I make complex things simple as well. You're not the only one. I'm not gatekeeping anything, lady.
I'm up $90,000 in just 4 trades this year.
Oh, God, spare me. I'm up $90,000 in 4 trades. Congrats, but you're going to die. You're going to blow up. Something bad's going to happen. No trader is at the top of the Forbes 400 list because they never made it. Give you an example. Have you ever seen a fat 95-year-old? No, because they don't exist, because they died. It's lame because when you buy and sell, if you do it consistently, you're bound to make a mistake because you're human. Even if you got stop losses, you're going to make a mistake. It's going to be catastrophic, especially if you get too confident. And then you've got to pay massive capital gains tax on the trades because you're going to hold the asset for less than a year. You get to a point where trading like this also takes a lot of your time and activity. So you can't be time rich and you can't have financial freedom because you're actually having to do it. So when you make a trade, you get paid, you go, oh, got the money, got to do it again. Got the money, got to do it again. Every time you make a trade, you got to make another one. And again, you increase the decisions you got to make as a human, you're going to make a bad one. But I dare say she's probably selling a course on trading, which is probably where she's getting a recurring income from. You've got to understand too with trading is that if she's doing a trade where she made 17,000 or 25,000 or 50, whatever, you have to have the capital to deploy to get that trade. So for example, if you're swing trading, I played a little game the other day with PopMart. It's a Chinese company. My wife and I are in Thailand. We're sitting there. We're at a little bar. And we're hearing about Labubus left, right, and center. My niece is talking about it. We're seeing lines at the shopping centers about it. And I thought, this is interesting. I bet this is a very simple swing to watch. And we just sat at the bar and said, let's put $5,000 in just to play around with this. Instead of buying Labubas, we'll put 5,000 into Pop Mart. So we did it. And it swung up about 30%. And so, you know, you're trading on momentum. You're trading on momentum of the revenue of the company. You're trading on momentum of the people buying the stock as well because of the popularity. And that doesn't last. And you're buying it overpriced, which is why we didn't put in a lot of money. But it was just a fun experience to show what swing trading looks like. So you're trading on momentum. And it's very difficult to make long-term big money with momentum because you have to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and you have to time it. Very difficult, but you have to have the money, right? So like, you got to have the cash. And for these types of trades, she's probably got at least $100,000 of cash, I would think, to do 17% trades or 30% trades. Totally possible, but the long-term advantages do run out and you'll have to end up becoming an investor, particularly when you want to deploy $2 or $3 million at once.
Just quickly, if you're ready to take control of your finances but feel stuck on where to start, I have a solution. My book, Money Buys Happiness, simplifies investing and wealth building with practical steps to help you achieve financial peace. Get your copy via the link in the show notes and let's get your money working for you. Now back to the episode.
Is Bitcoin a good investment?
No, it's a speculation.
Yes.
JL, I love you, man, but you're going to get lit up on the internet. You need to not say this.
Who cares if you get lit up on the internet? By who? Just because someone likes Big doesn't mean they're right. Oh my God, people are so afraid.
Well, I'm sorry, but you asked me the question. I can only give you the answer I have. So let me explain to you what I mean, right? So Bitcoin, as I said earlier, if you bought Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago, you've done magnificently well. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I wish I'd done that. I didn't and still haven't, right?
The reason why it's hard to do that is because people can't see the future. So you can't say, I wish I had done that and look in the rearview mirror. Like, you can't go back in time. You can only look forward.
But that's not the question. The question is, where does it go from here? It's at 100,000 or somewhere around
Right now
there.
we're talking at 100,000. And when I was talking to Du Bois in the group chat, it was at 13,000.
That's recency bias. It's now at 100,000, but when I was talking to the boys, it was 13,000. So our brain has a psychology bias called recency bias, where we think the recent results will continue to the future. And that's what got people in a lot of trouble in the dot-com bubble, in the South Sea bubble, in the railroad bubbles, in every single bubble in the history of mankind, the Beanie Baby bubble, everything. It's at maximum bubble, so they think it's going to repeat. And that's what he's saying. He doesn't know he's probably suffering from the bias.
Yeah, but that was then. This is now. So where does it go from now?
Well,
Where does it
now
go
I'm
from
getting
here?
made fun of, JL, and that's what you're not understanding.
Right?
And I live with regret, and they're roasting me. And they have laser eyes.
laser
I'm like, you
eyes.
dumbass.
Yeah.
You're out here podcasting and doing ad reads when you could have gone all in on Bitcoin and 10x'd it.
Yeah, I think you've confused me with your psychiatrist. I can't help you with the fact you're being made fun of. All I can tell you is that when you look at Bitcoin,
The other thing to consider is the reason why people end up in these types of speculations like Bitcoin is because they feel like if they're not part of it, that they're an outcast in their peer group, or they might be made fun of. And that's why caring about what people think and leaving your principles to chase something you don't understand is a really amateur way to manage money. And so people who are great with wealth don't give a crap about what someone says about them, about their investing. I don't care. You've seen my YouTube channel. I don't care because I know what works for me and I know what I'm sticking to, right? But don't get seduced by novel ideas like speculating in crypto or anything else you don't understand because of what people say about you. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's schoolyard stuff. You're better than that.
I'm broke, about to buy $10 of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will not make you rich, and Bitcoin will not make you a crypto millionaire.
Yes, especially if you don't have any money. Like, you're not going to put money in crypto and then just moon yourself to freedom. You're just not. Like, you know how hard it is to win at trading? It's a very tough game, and it's not for the faint of heart.
Bitcoin is great for people who already have money, who want more of a risk-on asset to hold, that think, hey, I'm bullish on crypto, but I don't want to completely over-leverage myself into altcoins that have a much higher potential going to zero. I really don't think Bitcoin will go to zero.
I probably don't think it'll go to zero either, because there's always going to be someone who wants to own it for speculative reasons, but I can't see it. It's certainly not going to produce the same results as it did. It's just like all the capital in the world will need to flow to it. And I know that's the Bitcoin standard game plan, but it's not going to happen. Problem with it though, like even if you did have it, it doesn't produce cash flow. And people will talk to me about, you can stake it and da-da-da-da-da, but it's really not going to be paying for your groceries or your rent or anything like that. It's just not. And if it does become the reserve currency, it definitely won't then, because it's what we measure the value of things in. So I think it's going to limp along from here, and I can't see it having the same growth as before. So I don't think it'll make you rich either. I agree with that.
You really believe you're telling everybody on the internet right now that's my age or younger, VTSAX and rent?
Yes. And that's what I tell my daughter. And that's what she's doing. She's in her early 30s. She just quit her corporate job last fall. I don't know if that's permanent or if it's just a temporary hiatus, but she at least has fuck you money the way we defined it earlier, that she can make that kind of bold decision, because she didn't make any silly decisions like buying a house and becoming house poor and being dependent on a paycheck.
Yes, this is my man. He's saying what I'm saying. So his daughter didn't buy a house, she rents, she put her money into some sort of index fund, and she's got FU money. And she didn't fall in the trap of becoming house poor. When you buy a house, you can't afford to live in it, and all of a sudden you're addicted to the paycheck, you can't become entrepreneurial. You're stuck. You're golden handcuffed. You're done. And I believe in this. This is me.
So yeah, building wealth is your key goal. Then no, owning a house is not going to contribute to that.
Yes. What's interesting is right now, anytime I wanted to, I can buy a house for cash, and a good one. But why don't I? Because my capital and my time and bandwidth and skill set and mind is better spent on building wealth, way better in other areas than simply buying a box of bricks and mortar. So you've got to be careful where you put your capital and your time and your energy, and what price you pay to call a house a home. And most people traveling up the M1 every day this morning, in traffic all day, every day, to a job they hate, that's a very big price to pay to say, I own my bricks instead of renting. Just saying.
Don't buy this. Instead, buy this. Because in 5 years' time, the value of this will be this. And the value of this will be this.
Although, if you did buy a Ferrari and then you went and sold some sort of coaching and consulting like people do, or you do a podcast on it in the Ferrari and you have attention and attract an audience, and then you can buy lots of houses too. So he's saying, don't buy the car because it depreciates, buy the house set because it appreciates. And that's a fair comment to say, because by and large, generally over time, housing does improve in value. It's a good hedge against inflation, particularly if it's a property investment. There's tax advantages to it. It does grow. You get cash flow yield. So it's a far better idea to buy a property for an investment than it is to buy a car that depreciates, unless you're an Uber driver.
Do you know $100 a month invested from age 25 to age 65 at prevailing market rates? You'd have $1,176,000.
Yes, I did know that, Dave.
$100 a month. So if you're 25 years old and you're watching this and you don't end up a millionaire, you ought to have your butt kicked, because I just showed you how.
I agree with this. If you decide to do that with your children, in fact, if you invested $1,000 today when they're born and you put $100 away a month, certainly as they get to age 40, they're going to have some substantial amount of money there that they can use. It's little bits of money compounded over time that turn into great money. So you don't wait till you're rich to invest. You invest to get rich starting from today. Go, Dave. All right, there are the reactions. Good, bad, or indifferent. You agree with me or not? I'd love to know in the comments. What do you like about those reactions? Would you react the same way? Leave us a comment. I'll come back and I'll chat with you then. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Money Grows on Trees. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss an episode. And if you're serious about building wealth, make sure to check out the links in the show notes and follow me on all social media platforms at Lloyd James Ross for more. See you in the next episode.